Okay, we are back. We've got about, let's have a look, just over 20 miles to go. We're still at 6,000 feet and the wind is 44 knots headwind. It actually went up to about 47 on the way here. Now, looking at the GPS, it's just over that first island, and on the second island, just there. So just behind that cloud is where our runway is. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to start the descent now to about 3,000 feet, I think. You know, everything looks fairly flat. Just pull power back a little bit as we're descending. Now I can activate an approach in this using a vectors approach. I'm not going to do that in this circumstance. I'm going to overfly the field, have a look, and then manually fly maybe a pattern, I don't know. If it looks good the way I'm coming in, I'll just land straight in. Let's have a look. Can I see the airfield? Let's have a quick zoom in. Can we see anything yet? It's around there somewhere. See a bit of a blemish on the ground there. We've got a little bit hill to the right. I'm not sure which way the runways are, but I could check on the GPS, could zoom and have a look and pull up some information, but we're not going to bother with that. We're just going to fly it by hand as we get in. So coming through 5,000 feet now, I'm just going to make sure everything's okay. Weather hasn't really changed much, wind's gone up a little bit, dropping down now through 5,000 feet, wind's starting to come down, which is good. A bit more cloud, lower level here, so a quick look outside while we're here. Fly by. And pretty much there was not much to see. Quite a bit of snow, quite a bit of sea, quite a bit of cloud. It's been pretty uneventful. I thought weather would be a lot worse. There was a little bit of buffeting and the autopilot was doing its best to keep it level, buffeted a little bit. But other than that, it's been pretty mundane, to be honest. Just pull that power back a little bit more. Start slowing us down a little bit in the descent. I'm just going to zoom this in a notch or two. I don't think there's much need to, but they don't look very big. That terrain doesn't look very high. Zoom in through the cloud. Ah, right, the airport is there. I can see it, it's on top of that ridge. There we can see it. We've got a little flashing thing in a building. So I think what we'll do is we'll get a little bit closer, and I'm not going to I was thinking I'll overfly it and then drop in a pattern on downwind leg and fly a pattern. We might just make a right turn in a little while and go straight in. So a quick look. We've got pappy lights on it, so I think we can do that. 9 miles to go. Right, I think what we'll do is we will completely disengage the autopilot, pull all them lights off, we don't want any of them on, and we're going to fly manual. Get that mouse out of the way. I'll make a right now. Just while I've remembered now, I'm just making this turn back in manual, is another gripe of this aircraft. And it's the aircraft again, not the sim, is the turn coordinator is here in the middle of the aircraft. Well, I'm sat at the left hand seat here. I would really want it there, because I'm looking at that ball at an angle, and is it the angle that is it in the... I'm getting a bit distracted there. Bit of power. Yeah, it's... I'm looking at an angle, so I can never really tell if it's in the centre. So coordinating turns is a little difficult. What I need to do now is, because the autopilot's been using trim to maintain pitch, I'm just going to reset that trim back down to there, a bit of nose down to compensate. That's the indicator that I'm a bit low on power, and it's asking me to put the gear down. One stage of flaps down. I'm still very high. I'm going to bring that gear down to get some drag. That'll be in my ear all really loud until the gear's down. So gear's down, 2 greens, 3 greens, and we're at 100 knots with one stage of flaps. Approach flaps are on. What's that? 28 knot headwind. I'm not going to probably go to full flaps then. Power's to idle, just to try and get on the glide slope. Just going to pull in a little bit of nose up trim just to balance us out there. There's not going to be any traffic about, I don't think. Terrain warning is probably going to shout up at any point. Still high, but we're dropping like a brick. 1350 feet per minute descent, 1300 feet per minute. Right, I'm going to make onto final and put a bit of power in just to curb that descent. Just readjust my seat. Couldn't reach the pedals, I've been lounging about a little bit. Right, one Pappy Red's coming on. Wind seems to be pretty much down the runway, but it's strong. Right, pull some power in now. Nice on the glide slope. Power's looking okay. 600 feet per minute. We're dropping by 90 knots, just a bit more power, and we're just going to slow it up a little bit now. We don't want to overshoot end of this runway. I'm looking at that. .27 knot headwind. Ground speed is 58 knots. Dropped a little bit low. It's quite hard to judge this hill. It's all grey, white, whatever. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's what I didn't want. I'm completely blind. I've no instruments to tell me where the runway is. Oh my god. That's distressing. I might have to go around actually. Let's just have a look if we get anything. This is a problem. This is a problem. I'm just watching that ground. Oh, there, I've seen someone flashing there. Jesus Christ. Right, I'm going to have to go around. This is going to cause me a problem if I cannot land. Oh, we've got rain, snow or whatever. I'm low. I can't see a thing. I don't know where the runway is. I'm going to... Right. Full power. Gear up. There's the runway. We have got a problem here. I'm not sure if this runway has an ILS. I doubt it will have. 95 knots. I'll maintain that runway heading. And we're into bad weather. Right. 700 feet, 1,000 feet, I'm going to pull the flaps up. Right, I'm in a conundrum now because I don't know what to do. I've got snow. I've got a 40 knot wind and we're completely fogged out. Right, I've got to think what to do now. Right, I'm going to whip the autopilot onto 3,000 feet. We're going to stick it on heading of 150-ish and just get that heading in. And pump the altitude on. Okay, now we are struggling. Right, let's have a look what we've got here. Procedures. I'm going to see what approaches we have. 4DME 11. We're in really bad weather here. Right, we're going to go into 4DME at 11. Vectors. What's that one say? That's a waypoint. Right, let's just see if we can zoom in a bit. Flat plan off. Right, get procedures off. Clear that. Procedures. Select approach. 4DME runway 11. Factors, where is D2830? Right. No, I don't want D2830. Oh shit, what am I doing here? Procedures. Select approach. Right, let's turn that on to nav. See how this is going to bring us in. I don't know how it's going to bring us in. After 11, no, I don't. I was coming the wrong way. I was going. Jesus Christ. I selected the wrong window. Wrong way. This is pressure, this. Oh, London runway 11, you muppet. Right, that's activated. Let's go on to nav. Right, let's see how close this can bring us. That was quite an experience, that. Right, so that's going to bring us round here into this little holding pattern and drop us right onto the runway. Right, we'll keep going. I'm going to pause it slightly then, but we'll just keep it going. Let's see what we can do. That I did not expect at all. After a clear flight all over there, active sky next, thinks, goes a minute, boom, here's some weather. There you go. Do you know how you've been sat back relaxing, drinking coffee and all that all the way here? Well, now I'm just going to mess your day completely up. Thank you. Just what I wanted. Just what I wanted, yes. Right, let's see how it's going to fly this approach then. Let's just have a look what the plan is for the approach. D180 old, and it's then intersections 3,500 feet. I'm not going to go up 3,500 feet. Oh, sorry, 3,500, but that's the distance, isn't it? So, right. That I'm probably quite happy with. I can maybe do that. If not, I don't know what my other option is, because there's no alternate really. Nearest alternate north is another 500 and odd miles. I think the nearest alternate south is where I took off from, which is 160 miles that way. So I can reach that, but it defeats the object of going backwards, doesn't it? So we are going to land here. That's the decision I've made. We're going to land, and we might not land on the runway. We'll see. Right, we're coming up. Oh, I forgot. Whoa. A minute to reach the Delta 1080 old. I'm surprised. I don't know why they'd have an old here. Can't have that much traffic really, unless it's just something that's made up into the GPS. Now we're at this level and the weather's kicked in. It's a different place. 26 knot wind. Okay, it's going to do a circle here, and it's going to go left, and it's going to do a big circle around to the right. I'm just going to let it do it. I could just skip it, I suppose, but we'll let it do what it wants to do. It's quite a tight turn, that one. Now it's going to probably flicker left wing right over, well over to the right now. Looking at that, there it goes. So it's not just happy at giving me an heart attack, we're dumping me into a 50 metre visibility, it's now going to make me sick as well. I did expect quite a few challenging approaches, challenging weather conditions on this project, but not on the first flight. I expected a bit of weather in the first flight, but I didn't expect it to do this to me. Nice reflection though. The sun though, I'm not happy with the sun. I think that's obviously something to do with P3D. If I were looking at that now, I'd be blind, and there's nothing washed out or anything. I think I need to look at my settings to try and fix that. Alright, so now we're going to do a 180 turn now, and should be bang on runway. Go. Oh no, maybe not. So let's have a quick add up how far we've got. 5, 10, 15, 22, 23 miles from here. We've probably got. No, maybe not. 5 miles from C29. Probably 15 miles. 15 miles this or so to go. I'm not sure how these hold works. Is this just going to hold until I activate something else? Or will it flip over onto the Charlie Delta 29? I don't know. See what happens. But we're still completely fogged out, so this is going to be interesting. Very interesting. Okay, let's see if this flips over. Hopefully it should do. I don't know what that tear is there in the 0.8 miles. Right, yeah, it's flipped over. That's a nice touch, thank you very much. Right, let's stick the landing lights on because I forgot last time. Landing lights are on. I can't see a thing. Can't see land. Anything. This is going to be completely blind. I'm not happy about this at all. Don't want to crash on the first flight. I was talking to a friend about this, about thinking about doing this, and we were talking over a pint, and I thought, you know, I expect I'll probably crash a couple of times. I did not expect first flight to be a crash, but I don't know what to do. I honestly don't know what to do if I can't land. It's only -6 outside, so I could probably walk from an ice shelf to the airport. Alright, let's just try to weigh this up. 5 miles from there, and then what is it? 4.7. IRJ runway 29, so 600 foot, so that's half a mile, isn't it? Is it? I don't know. Alright, let's drop us to 2,500. Because I don't think I've got the autopilot mapped to a button, so I want to be last second flipping that autopilot off to land it. Oh, this is frightening. This is scary. This is scary without a proper ILS. Right, let's pop a stage of flaps down and pop the gear down to shut that up. Let's put a bit of power on while that's coming down. Gear is down. And we are completely blind approach flaps and completely blind. Let's drop us another 500 feet. Right, I can see something out there. I don't know what it is. Oh god. A bit of land. I think I'm going to end up going around again here. I'm just wondering if that cloud's high. It looks like it's right down to the deck. Can't see any runway. Wind's at 30 knots, so it should be blowing these clouds out way really. Autopilot struggling. Got a lot of drag. 38 knot headwind. We're at 40 knots at 2,000 feet. I'm really struggling to maintain any forward thrust here, forward speed. I'm at full throttle with flaps, one stage of flaps and gear down. 90 knots. And the autopilot is going ballistic. Right, I can see the runway. I've got the runway. Right. I can see runway light there. Let's go down to 1,500 feet. I think it's when I get into that low cloud that I go to whiteout conditions. It wouldn't be too bad if I didn't do that. I could fight and maybe get it down, but I'm on the glide slope as well here, it looks like, but it's bouncing all over the place. Let's go down to 1,000 feet. I don't know what the elevation at airport is either. Do your own work, Spanks. Do your own work. Come on. Oh, trim's not too bad. Right, I'm on the glide slope. I'm on manual as well. This is... I'm keeping... click the flight director on because it may help me just keep it in line following that flight director. It's very, very bumpy. We're at 37 knots headwind. Luckily it is an headwind. Vasses should be to the left and right, we're a bit high, just pulling power back. I'm having to keep a lot of power on, right, to counteract this headwind. A little bit low. Oh, it's just disappeared at last minute again. I can see the ground. Got a bit of ground there. I'm just trying to fly this flight director to keep me in line. Flight director looks alright, but whether it is, I don't know. This is completely unorthodox. Completely unorthodox way of doing this. Flying it, following a flight director and looking out corner of my eye, I'm not going to hit the ground. Oh, now we've got the rain and snow. And we're very, very low. I can't see anything. It's going to be a last minute job if I decide to go around. Oh, I've got some lights. What runway lights? Oh, this is going to be epic. I've got runway. There it is. See ya. I need some power. Some power for that wind. 40 knot wind, come on. There we go. Just let it ease onto that runway. And I'm bouncing all over, but we're down. Whoa! That was intense. That was intense. Just getting brakes on. I need a breather. Let's go and park this thing up, get a brew. Well, that was the most difficult landing I've ever done in any flight simulator, and 90% of it was probably pure luck. It was completely unorthodox, following a GPS. Very bumpy this runway. Following a GPS flight director on the screen to guess that the runway was there. But this is Antarctica. And we've got some little station there. This is the... Oh, that is the wind is... every time I put any throttle on, it's the wind's taking me 40 knots. wind now. Let's park this up, get it shut down. It's a trailer. A trailer control tower. Interesting. Can't believe we've got a runway sign. And blue taxiway lights. Doubt this will happen in real life. Here's a trailer. And a building. I'll have to have a look on Google there to see what it actually looks like. I'm just going to cut this corner. I don't want to get too close to that building. I'm going to stop it there. Parking brake to on. Wow. I'm just going to turn that avionics off and then unlock the fuel and put the fuel to the engines. Fuel to the engines have gone. Landing lights off. Position strobe lights are off. Master engine buttons are off. Alternators are off. They can stay where they are, and ting. That is off. Still got a train marker. Must just be a glitch. Okay, that was pretty intense for me. Hope you enjoyed the video, and stay tuned for next one where we're going to be taking off in this 40 knot wind and make our way over to the continent of South America.